Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is majorly going to look at as like 3D visual, and mainly we are going to do this with software already discussed. And there are few major things that you need to understand about 3D visual before entering. So that is what we'll be looking at initially. What is important and what are the different types of softwares that is available for visualization are one of the major important things that we need. What contributes to the rendering, not just the software directly, but also the modeling that also you need. But first and foremost, what we have to look upon is the type of rendering softwares that is available. Considering V-Ray, Corona Render, Lumion, we have Twinmotion, and we have Blender and other renders. So also we do have a lot of different sizes of softwares, and here's one image where we could see the difference between each renders: Octane render, V-Ray, and then Corona render, and then the same. And there is another thing that you need to understand, that the time frame that each render engine takes to render. Considering for the Corona render, it kind of takes like 23 minutes for this image, what you're seeing right now. And for the Octane render, it's taking 12 minutes. And for the Redshift, it's about 3 minutes. There's a difference between these renders, which is one is a type with where you have to press the render button, and then it takes a lot of time to render this. And then we have this real-time render, one twin motion, another one is Enscape, and what we're going to do today is Lumia. That is, these are all real-time renders, which you hit the render button and then quickly it is there. It builds it up for you. Okay, so this is the difference between the major rendering engines that you need to understand, and furthermore, you need to understand the difference between software that you are. So I also found this image pretty interesting, which shows the difference between the Lumion 8 and Lumion. Okay. So you can use both, either one of the versions, Lumion 8 or Lumion. You can download them. Okay, do them. And I also want you to mainly understand that Lumion is a very powerful tool, requires a really good computer, and a bare minimum for the Lumion 8, the minimum requirement would be these. So this is small work. Okay. So you can go to the Lumion website and check for the pass mark points, whether how much it is required for your this thing. Minimum at least 2000 is required. Graphic card of 2 GB. Um, yeah. Okay. And also an i5, and then the minimum resolution, minimum of 8 GB work with. So that is a little intro for whatever it is. And I also have another thing, which would be I want you to take a look at the trailer of Lumion 9 and or Lumion 10 or something. So, for example, if we are playing this Lumion 9 trailer, so what we just seeing this bit of it again. So whatever we see over here, car image or the car image. So what makes it a good render is not the software itself, but the way you model. So you must give life to the entire model, like give every detail for it. So for example, if you're looking at the door over here, the door is having the control, the door is having the doorknob, and having all the required things that it has to have. And the other image over here, if you look at this, so here we have the sofa having a little lifted, raised up, and okay, more towards considering this. So we never look at when we are beginning at any of the 3D modeling, we never work on the ceiling part, but ceiling is one very important part for it to give us life to the entire structure, interior or the exterior that we. Okay. So both is important. We need to do interior view and then exterior view. Okay. So look at the ceiling over here. It has all the details. It has the spotlights. It has the has it has a vents on it. Okay. Every possible detail is given so that it looks live. And we also have the track lights over here. So this is just an example to show how important these things are. Only if you model, you get the real image. You can't flip upon later whatever model I give and then like, try to render it and it's not giving really good work. That. It's important to start and know how to work with your model, how to set up your model for rendering the image. That is actually very important. Um, Create your SketchUp model. Lumion is available even for Revit as well. You can check it on. So, be it for Rhino, be it for SketchUp, the most important thing that you need to understand is application of. So, if for example, the same model which I showed you for section render and the plan render, so like building up your surrounding. Okay, so Lumion has few components which you can use, but other than that, setting up of the road and if it is a good side with the parapet and everything, you can do that along with the pedestrian walkway. Okay, and if you want, you can draw the center line of the road. You see the white strip lines, no? So all that also you can see. I'm kind of using currently the online SketchUp version so that because I'm having a few software glitch for recording the regular sketches, so I'm able to use. Okay, so if you see over here, I just put some walls in like different color and like different. This is what it matters. Okay, so I've already told you that every material in SketchUp has a material ID of it. For example, when I check the material ID of this particular material, so let's say it has one color to it, then selecting having another color. I named it as roof itself, and so I'm given another texture. Either you can add a texture over here itself, or you can add the texture on the material over directly. So these are the few things. And for the background, just in case I've added some image. So when you see an image over like this, you kind of see certain things with as that is kind of like make it will make it look good, or else it'll be like one flat image which is a lot of work for you to do. That is another thing, and fitting up each material into not the same color into everything. So that is actually kind of like very important for you. And so few things interior. So just given this yellow light for it to yellow light so that and then like ground and two important things is like when there is only a line in SketchUp, it will not be visible. For example, if in a kitchen and everything, the cabinets, if you just put a line like so, so that represents like it's split. And if you go to your Lumion and check it, it has to be two different surfaces with a gap. between. And another important thing that you need to understand is in a surface like glass. Okay, so if you have seen glass in general, the top and the bottom side of the glass will be transparent, but whereas the edges will be of a different. That is actually very important for you checking the material. Wow, how I have applied a material over this material is uh, this is another material. So the top and the bottom is a different material. Sides, both the outer side and also as well as the inner side has same material. This side and this side should be of the same material. So that is another important thing. And so for instance, I kind of created this brick. So we can generally create a brick with like normal cuboids and then like keep placing it next to each other, but we won't get the feel of a brick in SketchUp or in Lumion. So what we have to do is like set it up, and then I have chamfered it with round corners, and each one I have split it, and the edges I have actually find it with another color for it to look really interesting. This is how you can set up your model. And just repeating one more thing, the same things. Line, just a single line will not appear in SketchUp. It has to be an object, as in it has to be a pipe source or something. Okay, a cylinder should be made within the pipe, within the line. Only then it will be visible. And another thing is glass. So, and the third thing is the application of material. So, if you want this wall and this wall to be of two different colors, you have to paint this in a different color and majorly with the different material ID, you'll have to do that. Okay, so that's sufficient for understanding what uh, model has to model needs in a SketchUp file, and the same applies for the Rhino file as well. Okay, so the Rhino need to be defined with different materials for different walls, things. Okay, even if it's a floor is having one material from in the hall and a different material in the bedroom. You'll have to split and give two different materials, and it will be easy for you to work. So that is why it's also very important to work with components, and every material in SketchUp has a material ID of it. For example, when I check the material ID of this particular material, so let's say it has one color to it, then selecting having another color. I named it as roof itself, and so I'm given another texture. Either you can add a texture over here itself, or you can add the texture on the material over directly. So these are the few things. And for the background, just in case I've added some image. So when you see an image over like this, you kind of see certain things with as that is kind of like make it will make it look good, or else it'll be like one flat image, which is a lot of work for you to do. That is another thing. And fitting up each material into not the same color into everything. So that is actually kind of like very important for you. And so few things interior. I've just given this yellow light for it to yellow light so that, and then like ground. And two important things is like when there is only a line in SketchUp, it will not be visible. For example, if in a kitchen and everything, the cabinets, if you just put a line like so, so that represents like it's split. And if you go to your Lumion and check it, it has to be two different surfaces with a gap between. And another important thing that you need to understand is in a surface like glass. Okay, so if you have seen glass in general, the top and the bottom side of the glass will be transparent, but whereas the edges will be of a different. That is actually very important for you checking the material. Wow, how I have applied a material over it. This material is uh, this is another material. So the top and the bottom is a different material. Sides, both the outer side and also as well as the inner side has same material. This side and this side should be of the same material. So that is another important thing. And so for instance, I kind of created this brick. So we can generally create a brick with like normal cuboids and then like keep placing it next to each other, but we won't get the feel of a brick in SketchUp or in Lumion. So what we have to do is like set it up, and then I have chamfered it with round corners, and each one I have split it, and the edges I have actually find it with another color for it to look really interesting. This is how you can set up your model. And just repeating one more thing, the same things. Line, just a single line will not appear in SketchUp. It has to be an object, as in it has to be a pipe source or something. Okay, a cylinder should be made within the pipe, within the line. Only then it will be visible. And another thing is glass. So, and the third thing is the application of material. So, if you want this wall and this wall to be of two different colors, you have to paint this in a different color and majorly with a different material ID. You'll have to do that. Okay, so that's sufficient for understanding what uh, model has to model needs in a SketchUp file, and the same applies for the Rhino file as well. Okay, so the Rhino need to be defined with different materials for different walls, things. Okay, even if it's a floor is having one material from in the hall and a different material in the bedroom. You'll have to split and give two different materials, and it will be easy for you to work. So that is why it's also very important to work with components. And once your Lumion starts, so you'll find the screen. This will be the home screen. You'll be able to see what is the template that you want, and the examples you can do it. Just take one you already worked on any of so everything will be see here. And thing. And we have another major thing that you have to do for first time users is like the computer tech. So this is the bare minimum. I'm also having requirement for my computer. Okay, so if everything is really in a red level, definitely you'll not be able to. So make sure at least something is actually there for you to work on. Okay, so check this. I'll show you the performance of it. Then choose which version you really better. You can also go for the the 9 version, 10 version as well. So first, I'll just give you an example, and let's go into the interface. Okay, so we're getting into the interface using one template over here, waiting for it to load. It is a really powerful tool, so it will take time to load, take time to save, everything takes time. So, but now the render. The render is kind of like really fast. It could actually happen really fast, and don't bother about it. Fine. Okay. The first thing that uh, we'll do understand how to navigate with Lumion. So navigation is very simple. So you can use your WAS or that will when you're holding any of the keys only to show the shortcuts over what are the shortcuts. W will go forward, S will go back, A to the left, right, okay? And you can also use your hold your right mouse click, look up and down, and go around wherever you want, and use Q, pan up. So that's very simple. If you are a gamer, it's kind of like to be like more simple for you to understand. So we have the access over here, set, so all that. And if you're using a space bar, go really slow, shift and space bar will be fast. So you need to first understand how to work with. It will be a pretty complex thing for new users, maybe non-gamers definitely. So this is the 8 version, 8.8 version I already told you about, and 9 version it's all the same. Just that the interface of this will be a little different. Be that, but it's gonna be the same. It's called as weather, landscape, it is. And the other thing we have is like the build mode. After the photo scene, is we'll be able to capture. And when we are in the movie mode, we'll be able to make the videos. Okay, so this is kind of like really easy way to actually do, and then to do a walkthrough and all, we also have a 360 degree. From this, you can take it to another website or another software, and then it to your VR headset, so you kind of see everything in the VR mode. Saving is there, and check your settings. So setting is also kind of very important because you don't want to work with really high settings. Then like okay, so I'll change it to editor's quality as the medium or low. This will actually keep it to how the visual looks. Okay, nothing to do with the visual of while working and the export. Okay, so the export will be different. Don't worry about it. So if you want to enable high quality trees and high quality landscape on it, okay, so that will do things and editor resolution and everything. Okay, so that's enough for us. I'll get back to the build mode so that I can be able to work on it. So first, let's um, start with the weather, kind of, but don't understand much. If when there's an object, it's easy, much more easy for us to understand. The weather is nothing. So this sets your sun's position. Let me look wherever you want your sun axis. Okay, in which direction? This the sun height thing. Right? So we do not render anything with the night render. If you want to render with the lights on and off the interior or for the exterior, keep it the daylight itself. You can just turn on the light. For example, if you want to understand how to render an image better, just do architecture photography. Look at images of architecture photography. Um, how you can actually take in reference from the angle of the shot, to how they capture it, whether they're doing it in the night time or whether they're doing it in the morning time. I've seen most of it in the morning. So we want a better, mostly like a photograph kind of look for it, and then so this is reducing the cloud size, the daylight, and everything. So that's how much, and you can also use the type of the cloud as the landscape to work with now. The landscape is also kind of like very simple. So the first thing is for the heights, raise and lower, flatten and everything. if we so this is the brush size. I think size it is kind of like very quick what I meant by real time and lowering pattern, pattern the land, everything smooth, make it much more smooth. Wherever so increase the brush size and then things. So this in one click will flatten the thing. So one thing that you have to understand about here is the undo. Undo is not available for a lot of times. You do a lot of things like just all doesn't have a lot of backup memory for you to sub. Okay? So that's how you can change like work with your terrain for us. So we have the water now. So there are different types of water that you can be like just one. Okay, it will one that's the same over here and placing this. Okay, place and click on this. You can see, yeah, it's kind of like full. So that's for us. We have ocean. Turn on ocean everywhere. Go to the color to change and to control any of this. It's kind of hard if you just you can use your shift so that it reduces my able to control. Just turning this off. So and then there is paint. So the paint will help you to change the so so remember the template that that we chose first. We can it. So this this one, if I want to change this that white times is enough for our concept. And we have an OpenStreetMap which we can load on the internet and just do building with respect to the build. And we could see the grass over here exactly now. Once we turn on the grass, so we get the grass texture much here. Is the grass wildness, add any leaves or something to it there to kind of on. all like give you much better. That's fine so far. Okay, so we have covered the landscape part of it. Much, much better than that. Next, start with. So first thing is like importing the model. So we have place objects in my on it and port, port, select the new model. I've already loaded a model. It takes so just load the SketchUp model, or if not, you can load a Collider file for things. So use Max Power file. So once it is loaded, it's like all the library files in it. Not placed multiple times, just one click and wait for it to load. Then that's done. So this over here, you can reload the model for SketchUp, and you use this release or something. You can just select the model first, put in the settings, you select the model. This point is very important. So you can't just select the model by clicking on where it shows you the in a model. Select the model first, then you'll be able to click on it. Just like it changes in your model, it just and there is something called as Lumion Live plugin that you could download. Okay, so once you download this plugin to your SketchUp or to run to Revit, so whatever changes that you're making in model changes that you're like making use a modeling software, or if you don't want to work on it, this if you're working with multiple screens, that will be very helpful. Not working with multiple screens, just take the file and then like reload it. So if you've changed the location of your file, here it says like re-import model, hold down the Alt key. If I'm like holding down the Alt key, then I can select a new file and it will just be. So once you set all your trees and other elements, do not move your model, okay? And do not move your SketchUp model. Look, the model is here. Copy your model somewhere else, and then models. All your content should be here, and your model will be somewhere. So now you imported the model. Now we'll get to start with the first one, nature. So once you have imported the model, always keep your model in the layer one. And when I'm working with the keys or something, layer two, always turn off layer. So now I'll be in the layer two, selecting the tree object. So there are plenty of trees that is up for everything there. I understand what are the components. So now that when I was working with I did not add any because it is not needed for me. I want to define something with particular size and shape of the tree or the location. Just define it with the rectangular object or some in your model, and then later you can turn layer of and build up this one. This is like single placement, and there is mass placement. Try to in your order, add more of them. That's all. Yeah. So And then you can increase the number of items, direction, set, order, that appears. So now I'll keep a car over here. Car layer, select this placement. I just want the single placement. I want to change the color of car and things. So that's fine. So now when I'm selecting, when I'm in the transport, I'll be able to select only the car. Not be able to select the. So if you want to select the trees, you should go back to your tree. Then you'll have to select them in order to select it. Now, so I made a small mistake because placing the car layer in the scene layer itself. It is not important, but it's kind of a first to work. Once this is done, once you have selected the object, click on this and click over to the move. Now this layer is on the third layer. Something that you want to click the object to. So that's movement. And when I'm like in the tree layer, if I'm just like selecting one, I can move this object. I can wheel down the size of the object here, or with this be able to so rotating. Another important thing for us, um, uh, do not get carried away with the people that is there in the Lumia. Okay? So it's better for us to actually use silhouettes. They use 3D silhouettes only. Don't go for these. Go for look really good, and you'll all end up to be on that, and your model will not be. It will be much more distracting with the colors and the models, people. So keep it simple, keep a silhouette only. That's enough for you to show the scheme. When I'm keeping a person over here, kinds of places thing on the thing. So it Lumion kinds of breathes the surface, so it's easy for us. So if I'm person on, okay, so it kinds of breathes the surface, or it's and now expect to move. And I am so I can press Alt to copy the save. Hit copy. When I am using Alt and then like changing location to, but look over here. When I'm using Alt and Shift together in the same, now it is actually so you can take one more list. So you can select all the objects together by pressing Ctrl and dragging it. So and when you are in the everything is selected now when you are in this. That when you're in the place mode, you'll be able to select one particular. Now you can filter out on the nature, the other thing, whatever that is there. That's done. Uh, we have sounds that could be added for mm, in case we need some when you're doing a walkthrough and things, other effects. You can just explore everything, whatever is there. We have waterfall, we have water fountain, we have fire, we have smokes. You can just like place them, check them, enjoy, and then see. We have like leaves falling from the trees. So we'll just see what are the indoor objects that's available. Yeah, we have quite a lot of indoor objects. We see in the ceiling fan. It's just like want to place an object, kind of like very simple. Just select and set and and elements, storage, storage. Every object is available. Yeah. So the object that's available in Lumion is already set with the loss, the effect all set. So and it's just like one more thing, we just need to this the outdoor. What is there for outdoor? We have quite a lot of things. Lights, and the lighting. We'll get back to the lighting after we finish the materials layer. One is left, so other things we have kind of. So now we are into the material layer. So now you'll be able to see since I have applied, I have only one single texture for this image. Sorry, one single paint bucket that I have applied in SketchUp, so it kind of reads everything. You could see all the selections are made that way because you can see this is the same color, this is the same color, this part is the same walls and things. Once you get into the material editing, it will be kind of cool, then you'll be able to work. Okay, this is your material palette. So we have nature, indoor, outdoor. Okay, so this is the default material that we are in. So I'll kind of like give it a wall texture. Click on this, go for the outdoor, and so I'll actually choose a concrete pattern. Happy with clicking. This is okay. So once I am into this, I can double click on it. This is the map that is there. That map means that is the texture that is there. So I'm just like using. and the normal map will tell you. So you can colorize the image, give it a color, give a greenish tint to the concrete all. So and for the floor is already having. Okay, so for the floor, um, indoor stone, click on it, glossy. So that's enough for us. And we're in this relief. So what does relief means is this will actually means the depth of the texture. Graphic problem not seen clearly, and we have the scale happen. And here I'll just give it for a door. I'll go for wood texture. Just leave the other texture normal. So I'm giving this as again I'll choose. Here I want to give it a texture. So if you're working with editor quality and real, your method classes. And one, I just give a random material. Theme color just okay. So now I've applied like few materials to here over here to this one. We'll see the position of it. So this says the x offset and y offset. Or if you want to rotate the material also you can do. You can change the pitch how it has to be. If sometimes the material you don't want the glass but want a transparent, you can use. And for this, okay, so the light kind of fixture where I've given, I just go to the same. Uh, come to this settings over here and give emissive. And make sure you press on the tick and not escape. If you're pressing escape, everything will just fade. Okay, nothing will get saved. Whatever the changes that you make not be there. So just go to the settings over here. I'll just okay, for now. So now we'll be able to see. So yeah, I'll come back to the material mode. Time for it to load. Okay, emissiveness I'll reduce the tone. The saturation is like increase basically. Yeah, the saturation will be saturation no, no Photoshop. Better now. You should be so that is that. And turn on the material quality. This is the normal map. See the bump. Um, so how it turns. So earlier the white used to be like little bumped out, or whichever you want to feel. Like if you just flip it, you'll just understand. And the glossiness. If I want. So that's so much that got really high now, like low. Okay, and then the selection of the material. So that's kind of done. So here is another. I want to increase the emissive for that. So I come to the standard and as so that's fine. This is what I mentioned. If you want, there should be spacing in between wardrobes and things and all, like the material, and then I'll be able to give a wooden texture, whatever. Then that will appear a little. Okay, and also the bricks. Now it kind of like splits up and then like shows. And we have one more thing which to take a look at, and that we have the road, like the road for outdoor. That will want a they have given a texture, right? This kind of hindering to it. I can click on this and then go to the nature, select on the grass pattern. But more to that, we would not know what grass pattern was there exactly. What we would do is like go to the custom and select landscape. So landscape means it selects the same landscape that is there. So that's done. And we also have um, just like that's okay. So now I'm gonna just experiment on certain things. Okay, selecting of the layer, color, material layer again. So we'll just do the first thing. The things. Or when you're doing a swimming thing. Uh, everything. Certain material if it is available. So there are some other things like this as well. Or keep it as a waterfall. So like much you to explore. That's all. What of the text. So that's that's so much for the material application. Material application. Now, one more that was pending was the light fixture. Now we'll select the light fixture. So selecting light fixture, bring them to another layer. Very simple. Right? Here I can change the brightness of it, tone angle. Here you can see of that as want to target the light to. So that's uh, we have a light viewing just on the air and standing where far away. Hit little the whole facing to till I get the thing right. This is for the interiors, and you could do the same for architecture where you want, right? So, so much for the light fixture, and we have few more tools. This section control. This will actually fix one of this in your mobile, so use the reflect. We also flipping thing will model. You can change the orientation of Then you can set the render and then like okay, that's perfect for us. Move to that. Now we'll set the photo render. Select where you want to take the render. Setting the render now. Okay. Okay, this is set. This is set for us. We do is like there are preset custom styles that is available. Doing this, do not understand what are the effects that is there. So do not do this preset ones the normal itself. When an urgent sake, then you can do so that save your model once plus your location. That's so fine. And one major thing is like Lumion files. So Lumion 9 file will not open in Lumion. Once switch softwares and work, you are getting complex working like that. Then put your material that you have saved. Then you save it and then like keep overlapping it. Another major thing that I forgot to tell you is working with materials. When for working with materials, example over here, this is the flow texture. When I can also these are few materials that is available, and if you already apply the material in Sketch, that will already come over here. That also you can just select the material and then like keep the default to the normal. So for example, this is the same material, this is the material that I applied over. If it's a material that it was there from SketchUp that I wanted to, that will be there on this imported model. Will leave that. This is the material that there in the SketchUp file. So what I'll do is like I will go to the standards over here and you can see that the reflection is there now. If you want more reflection things, you can actually okay, that's for it. And if I want to bring in another texture, then I can click on this to map and select the image that I want. Or the other website which I already told you, like textures.com, they explained last class, that you can choose here, and that's like in the scheme of it, created this style. This style is actually created in Illustrator at this image. From this, it's extracted and then created. So if in case you need some particular thing, you can't get everything, you have to create certain pattern of, and that's kind of like very important for you to. Okay, and here you could see the bump clearly now. Bump, uh, the relief, how it could actually flipping it, make it a little better. The other way. Okay, so embossing will happen the other way. This is with respect to the material of like changing the things and then like doing. Now we'll go back to, okay, so here. So we'll start with the FX one. Yeah, we are here, right? So in this, first thing that I want to do is go to the camera, set it to 2-point perspective, turn it on. So if I am looking at an image like this, that's not 2-point, right? So all the angles, the walls are angled like this. That will not happen over time. Will keep. Then I'll start working with other things. Start with the sun. So when I'm in the sun, this is the sun's height, which direction it had to head, brightness of the sun, and that's enough. Then add shadows, turn it on, and only then it will like find shadow reflection. This is just the preview quality. Okay, keep it normal only, but having a better computer. And the speed ray reflection. So turn it on, and this is the reflection plane. When then with this, I have to add plane, and only then reflection will be working much more. Add another this. So that's enough for it. Adding more effect. Okay, keep the skylight on. Skylight will not keep it flat, so it will make it light coming from the top. So shadows will also have. So the trees will also have light from the top, so there will be shadows in the thing, giving you more realistic things for and add more. Okay, you can experiment with all these things like volumetric sun, morning sea light, kind of. Okay. Camera, um, exposure. You can add it a little to increase the brightness, and Depth of field you can understand the depth of from front and back. This major I'll be explaining for you in the next class. So the weather and the sky, if you want to get it, that off, you can experiment with it. Mhm. The more sketchy effects kind of stuffs as well, you can explore them. Just showing you major things which is necessary for a better realistic view. So when you're having a sharpen on, it will give you grains, but keep the sharpen really low, so there'll be like a better effect of reality and not very flat. So much of effects is enough. The same thing. So when I'm coming to the other one, okay, I will not be having the effects. Only for one image, the effects will be applied. In order to do that, you can copy from this the same thing from here. How to do that is like it here, it copy effects, again paste. Paste effect. The render. So this is just for one single render. Okay, one single image. Here we have for multiple all the photo set, everything, all the images together. So print, don't need to go for poster. Desktop and print is sufficient. So you can choose one and then it. So this also I'll be explaining it to you later. The next. Let's do only so much for now. Okay. One small detail that I forgot to tell is that um, in the material. So when I one small detail that I forgot and had to tell you is like when you're in a material thing, then you want to copy a material from this object to that. That could also be done. Okay, select this material first. Click on these three dashes. Hit copy material on this. Come to the standard and here. So that's another thing. And you can also save this material set, and save maybe like sometimes when you're shifting the versions from this to 9 to 8 or 8 to 9. So the objects can't be imported again, but at least very minimum work of the materials could be. You can save this all material as like one file will give you a file, and again when you're importing the same model, you can just load the material. All the materials will just like come in. Okay, so that's much. And yeah, these are the rendered images for all the this shot we have worked with. So that shows everything. Little brief of what I do. So much more lot of creative work with this. Look for more videos, look for more renders, and more render images. And that's how this. So thank you for listening to the lecture.